Ouch. That sounds bad, doesn't it? But read that again. It doesn't say that he doesn't care that you're insecure. I would almost guarantee you that's not the case. It says he doesn't care about your insecurities. Those little things we all zero in on in the mirror that make us feel small and rob us of our confidence and self-love. We all know what they are. Stretch marks, uneven skin tone, acne, cellulite, scars, wrinkles, or even just a general feeling of unattractiveness. There's no shortage of things we can find to helplessly nitpick about ourselves. Then that's where the lies begin. The ones that tell us these things somehow determine our worth as women and as wives and partners. That these badges of our humanity somehow rob us of our dignity, of our beauty, and of our lovability. But I'm here to tell you that by and large, your husband, he does not see what you see. Where you see marring and imperfections, he sees softness and grace and sensuality. While I'm sure his eyeballs work just fine and he's not altogether blind, he simply doesn't care about these supposed flaws as much as you think. What he does care about is how your view of yourself affects you. He sees the way you shrink back, how you stand a certain way to hide this or that, the way you hide away from the light or refuse his touch in certain areas. He sees the way these lies have stolen your confidence as well as your trust in him. When we pull away from our husbands for reasons like these, we are broadcasting the message loud and clear, I do not trust you to love and accept me as I am. And so he might try harder to give compliments or show that physical affection because he believes his desire should be proof enough. But it's not. It never is, and it never will be. Because you cannot rely on other people for your validation as a woman and a human being. And you do not need to, because it does not matter whether or not you are viewed as wildly attractive or desirable by the world at large. What matters is whether or not your husband loves and adores you as his wife and mother of his children. So I want to hit on 2 points through the rest of this video. What makes us adorable to our husbands, flaws and all? And how do we get that validation and confidence we need to be our best selves, if not from other people? The first part, that's simple. It's that bonding I keep talking about. Those chemicals and hormones like oxytocin. That is what will elevate you above everyone else. For you ladies who are moms, I know you understand this very well. Think about your own kids, how they're so obviously the best and the cutest, and you can't even stay mad at them for too long when objectively you realize they're just average people like anyone else. It's because they've hijacked our systems with oxytocin that says, these are mine above all else, and I will cherish and protect them at all costs. And this is the same bonding mechanism we establish with our husbands through regular touch and intimacy. So where you look in the mirror and see all those things you wish were different, he looks at you and sees the woman he loves, whole and complete and adorable as she is. And ladies, he wants to see you, all of you, and he wants to see you alive with confidence, not shrinking back and skittering in the shadows like a mouse. Because this is the other side of that coin, my friends. We need to understand how viscerally visual men are, and not in the nitpicky sense that we often are, but just as a general appreciation for the female form. It's not something he can simply take or leave. His brain demands that type of stimuli. And that's how we get ourselves into yet another vicious cycle, because we live in a world where as much visual stimuli as a man can stomach exists right in his pocket at any given moment. So if we spend enough time denying him the real deal, he'll be more tempted to seek out his eye candy elsewhere. And then you subsequently feel worse because those women who by and large are quite young, are far from average, fully dolled up, and afforded only the most flattering lighting and angles. So you hide more, and he watches more, and so on until his brain has been retrained to view his phone or computer screen on par with wife, and you feel like you'll never be as good as them. And you don't need me to tell you that this is not a good place to be. So how do we go about building up our confidence so that we allow our husbands to engage with us rather than adult visual media? Because the hottest thing you can be for him is confident. First, if you regularly and habitually scroll social media, stop. The internet isn't real. We don't even live in the age of Photoshop anymore. We're all way past that. Everything you see online is filtered, posed, and curated in order to maximize revenue. This digital fantasy land cannot be our true north. Next, I would encourage you to make it a habit to observe other people whenever you go out. Not in a weird way, don't stare or anything, but just take notice of the humanity playing out around you in real life. When the cameras are off and the lighting isn't great and nobody is posing and it's all just us average men and women living out our lives without trying to impress anyone. And plenty of them are married couples. When was the last time you saw a flawless woman out in the real world? I don't know that I ever have. Most of us are just perfectly ordinary. And that's fine. Your appearance does not determine your value because it doesn't last. Even the most beautiful woman is subject to time and gravity. These things are fleeting and forgettable. All the male validation and empty praises will be gone in a few years anyway, replaced by the next pretty media sensation. So we need to fill ourselves up with meaning from elsewhere. Who are we deep down when you strip away the veneer? What do you think about? What do you enjoy? What drives you? What gives you a sense of meaning and accomplishment? Build up these things. Engage in activities which bring you joy and get you outside of your own head for a while. Because all the beauty in the world cannot save you if you're empty inside, my friends. And once you find your worth apart from your appearance, then you realize that neither does your appearance detract from your worth. So I hope this encourages you today, my friends, to seek confidence and connection. Don't simply wait for it to come find you. And until next time, take care.